Well, welcome to one of our Easter week reflections from Matthew, which today will be on Peter's denial of Jesus. We often look at these great disciples in the Bible and we forget that as well as being inspiration to us, they also had their own struggles and failures. We can look at Peter as one who led the early church, who spoke powerfully to the crowds, who spoke truth to power, and the one who the other disciples looked up to. We can recall in Matthew 16, Jesus asking Peter, "Who do you say I am?" And Peter replying, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." We can recall Jesus' response too, saying, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Jesus did indeed build his church on this great rock, Peter, the apostle. But that wasn't the whole story. So come with me now to the courtyard of the high priest Caiaphas, where Jesus has been taken under arrest, betrayed, assaulted and spit at. Notice too a solitary figure following in the shadows, at a distance, fearful of being recognised. But recognised he was by a servant girl who says, "You were with Jesus." "Not me," replied Peter. "You don't know what you're talking about." He moves closer through the gate. Another girl recognises him and tells the crowd who he is. This is getting dangerous, and this once brave and impetuous disciple wants to shrink deeper into the shadows. "I don't know the man," Peter declares with an oath. Finally, others recognise his accent, but this time he calls down curses on himself, swearing, "I don't know him." The cock crows, and Peter remembers Jesus telling him he would deny him 3 times. And now this broken man crept away, this grief-stricken friend of Jesus, filled with guilt and remorse, couldn't contain the tears. He wept bitterly. So how can you recover from this? And sometimes there are no quick fixes. Peter had to live with it, but this didn't have to define his life. He had come to terms with it, which he did on a beach, where Jesus asked him 3 times, "Do you love me?" It might have even made him a better leader, a humbler man, a man who could understand the grief and pain of others. But this was a defining moment. From now on, Peter would begin to be the shepherd and the servant that Jesus knew he would be. There's always forgiveness and reconciliation for those who are broken, for those like Peter who carry regret, for those like Peter who carry the pain of knowing what they'd done. But I'm sure that Peter carried the pain of his actions that day for a long time, but he also carried the joy of knowing he was forgiven, restored, accepted by Jesus. And he accepted Jesus' forgiveness. He became the leader Jesus all along knew he would be, a forgiven man, a reconciled man, a great leader of the church. Amen.